Thank you, but we'll not see the thing here. So, Nimakande, the Paramount Chief Council, the Trojan Council Chief and Elder Yokoye, we are now receiving the 10 motorbike and the 2 cars. The ambulance for Saki, man, fan. Saki. So, when Saki benefit. So, what I'm saying, the particular 10 motorbikes should be given to we, the Paramount Chief, or the Chief Council, the Trojan Council go sit in our caucus. We are not children to people by the nose. We go there and then we make our decision. When the senator are elected, they go in their chair, they go in their caucus, and they elect their wife. You the chairman, you the vice chairman, that. The senator, they divide and just to be the opposition. The CGO, the chief. The House of Senate is a House of Error. The House of Chief is a House of Error.
So you said, how do you want the distribution to be done?
We want the superintendent to turn it over to we, the traditional chiefs, that the president appropriate and get them motorbike too. We know what to do. But if they're going to be the player and the referee, then they tell us, Mama is here, Payman is here, Peter Ballon is here, President is here. We are many, but we are what? Elders. We know what to do.
The county administration already done the distribution.
They are done it?
They already done it.
Oh, how they do it?
Okay, wait and see.
There you go.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Okay, let me take delivery of my car and my motorbike right now.
Okay.
You want car and motorbike?
Okay.
Of course, on the traditional council level, we the big people on the county level, the 10 motorbike belongs to us. Then on the paramount chief, and then the council level again, the 2 cars for one upper Nima and lower Nima. I finished on it. If that car was in the upper Nima, Chito will be inside to go on the chairman.
Okay, thank you.
The so-called traditional council is being what? Disbanded a long time. So-called. The council is the council chief. The journalist said, you can't even read.
So why if you don't receive motorbike car?
I will go protest.
Where?
And I will ask the police to pack the other 2. Then let the new be have it. Let go to the president. But I want to just be later because I already got my own. Lower Nima can't get one. So you talk is only just to hear from the chief.
So as you're leaving for here, you expect to leave with a car and motorbike?
Oh man, I am saying I want Robert Senior to get one of the motorbike. I want Payman to get one. Palmer Chito to get one. And old man Ballon to get one. We are the original people on the level. Then the other one we will give it to all our able lieutenants that suffer with us. People just keep coming to power, they don't know. They just coming to permanent. They don't know what happened here before. Like the 10 motorbike talking about now. The ambulance power, they say, second thing happen. They 65 to count the 39 for the palmer chief. And the others can be also distributed by the county administration.
If you, I'm asking you,
who asking me?
You expect the worst one?
Thank you.
You expect to leave from here with a car and motorbike?
It's already signed.
Okay.
Thank you.
To reach away, not reach away. We'll talk. Now someone will talk. The county inspector speak. It's not reach away.
So let's turn over the county inspector who is now going to make some remarks.
We want to use the occasion to appreciate the president for making our elders and
frustrated my life. Yeah.
So if you were to see Georgia, what would you tell him?
I would tell him saying doing nothing for me. Apart from me, but nothing doing for we the Corona men and promise all. And then when I voted for me, the other Sabu Union.
What was the promise?
In town, we the Sabu Union say you're poor, into somewhere you on a debt, we will be clean the town on the street.
During the capital, Joey had made plenty promises to we the youth of this country. One, Joey had said that even when the poor also go, he classified himself to be Zogo, and all of these things were trading elevator was our living away. And one, Joey every single thing prices going down. Joey going power, he said that in 2 months, everything will come down. We haven't seen anything. Joey had get a bunch of foods and Ghana and Ryan, like men that stand up to her. Joey coaching.
Question on gay rights. And I've answered this question, perhaps not too elegantly. And I've used the words that I'm conflicted by this issue, but let me explain why. Let me explain what I mean by that. It's a lifestyle that I struggle with. As important though, I believe, Liberians are also focused on health, education, jobs, and I also want us to focus the conversation on those issues.
You think the answer to that question the right way?
I don't know if that's
it's a very sensitive.
It's a very sensitive issue, and I don't know if that's a right.
There was a strip with youth support is something that you would,
So yeah, I stopped my car for something they call helicopter. They move along the street. They sell the food right on the sidewalk. I believe that these people are the best selling people and they got the best food. I come here with chicken feet, with how you gonna think, cow skin. And you just put your food on your head, you carry your food. Anywhere you reach, somebody want to buy it, just sell it already, they buy it. Especially they got in the garage. Yeah. They walking correct, more than restaurant. You get your spoon, you get your bowl. Then plus you don't get napkin. So the restaurant and say you eat that to get napkin at Walmart. Go sue them, I'm gonna put them on the walking now. Man, we about water, then we very food.
Let me name them. You see Magio and Samuel, they are the king Juju people. Or you mean that the other people that play with Juju? You see Finabono, you see Tokompui and Finabono. Tokompui has one ball with him that he brought from Africa Coast. It is that ball that he's saying, that's why every year, every 3 months that ball will go Africa Coast. That begin to go Africa Coast to go bring Juju for Toko and Finabono. I will give you more detail on this. While Liberians are suffering in Monrovia, they ain't got food to eat. This lady sent $10,000 United States every month, every year, every month to his daughter in America. Then they can live a lavish life. You go to New Jersey, doesn't live in New Jersey, will attest to what I'm saying. You know, we're not saying these things because we want to give. I want nothing from nobody. But it is about time that the life of the people who struggle with us, the Liberian people who stood, the people who pretend their own t-shirt, who bowed their heads, who knelt on the floors, who went into the trenches with President George Weah. It is about time that those people begin to benefit and reap what they saw in what is called the revolution that brought the CDC to power. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's all we ask for. Every one of them around the president. So sometimes President Weah is messing up, but he's confused. They have put the president in the juju part. Finabono deals directly with the wife of Smith Towe, who is the cook to the president. She brings the dust, give it to this woman, the woman put it in the food. And then, so by the time the president eat that food, the president can be hacked from Finabono. Everything Finabono say is fine. Which chief of protocol will slap the first lady and go scot-free, nothing happened to her. Chief of protocol slap first lady, nothing happened. Who will do that? In this day and time. Donald Trump said that people will say he got problem. His wife, nobody can do that to his wife. But Finabono did it to the first lady, right here in Monrovia. Right here in Monrovia. Right here in Monrovia. Why do you think she depends on? She does it because she has put the president in a corner that absolutely the president can do nothing by himself. They have all buried this president. The pastors, what are you doing? Bishop Winker, you are the godfather for this man. This man is dying slowly. You're playing from way. You're thinking of some people making here. You're thinking of some people making here. The Liberty Ministry, Overcomer Ministry, what are you doing? Bishop, what are you doing? What are you people doing? The Redeemed Church. What is the church in Liberia doing? What are you doing? It is about time that you rise up to save and protect and save Liberia for these two people that are around President Weah. Finabono is dealing. Tokompui is dealing. Right now, as I speak to you, the president is about to send Tokompui to a public well. Magay want it because Toko and Magay can poop. They can see eye to eye. So how can this be? Right now, that's a battle right now that going on. The president want to send Toko to a public well. Magay want Joseph Tor, who happens to be a close man to Magay. Magay want Joseph Tor to be the minister of public well so that he can continue to use him. Because when Tokompui go there, Magay will have no control. And all of them, the same juju, the same place they'll go down, the same place, all of them in the same juju part. So Magay ain't able to kill Toko. So the only thing he got to do is to work with him. And Toko will not bow to him. So now the trouble there. That's where the trouble lies. Liberians are suffering. And somebody is saying, oh, why are you saying it now? When I was in the government of President George Weah, those of you who followed me in that government, you all can agree with me that on many days I raised these issues. Prime among them on July 31st, 2019, I wrote an article explaining why Liberians vehemently voted against President Weah's candidate in that election and why they don't won. I said it. We need serious prayer in Liberia. Don't think it's a joke. Finabono is sitting on the president's head. So anything Finabono says is final. Imagine people suffering in this country. You think $10,000 US, that party in Minnesota anytime. She in New Jersey every day. She having party. What did she get do? What did she get do? Every day they living lavish life while Liberians are suffering. And somebody is saying, oh, you know, for the sake. I want friendship from nobody. You won't be my friend or your business. You want my friendship or your business. You want my friendship or your business. But this is about the country that I love so dearly. A country that I want to see the vast majority of the Liberian people enjoy. Today they dispatched 3 men with a strict instruction to kill me on spot anywhere they see me. They said they should do everything to locate me wherever I am in the world. So anytime these things happen, I will unveil it to the people. They have, as I speak, they are also consulting their medicine people to harm me, to do some things to me. And some of them say, I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy, man. That's true. I'm crazy, man. That's true. Liberia is falling back. It's like we've gone back to the era of Samuel Doe, where almost all of the people that were around Doe, they were playing with human blood. Bill Towe get back. Bill Towe, the APA managing director, he get back. He got human being private by here, passing around with him, just so that the president can elect him. Is that the kind of government we want? Is that what we want? You got to infested people all around the president. They don't want us to shut our mouth. The pastors, they sit over there, they feel comfortable when the president goes to their church, they get in front seat. God is watching all of you. God is watching all of you. God in heaven is watching all of you. You are seeing the evil that is pervading around this president. None of you pastors, the Bishop Winker, the Overcomer Ministry, one of the pastors that I really respect. What are you people doing? Where are the voices of God in the land?
Let me welcome you to the magnificent Abraka Talk Show here. We're here to tell the truth. We're not here to be able to know it all. We are students of HB. We have come to you tonight with a son of the soil, a man who knows the issues, a man who knows the issues to discuss. And he is no one else but Mr. Saki. Mr. Saki will be joining us to tell more about the topic that you saw up there. Let me bring in Mr. Saki right now. Mr. Saki, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, my dear brother AB. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, as you can see. So we are, but first of all, we will need for you to introduce yourself to our audience. Who is Mr. Vanin Saki?
Oh, well, thank you so much again, AB, for the opportunity. I think this is my second time appearing on your show. I want to extend my greetings to you and the listening audience. And the name Vanin Saki has become a household name. Almost a lot of people follow me at broadcast. But just for a little quick introduction, I hail from Bomi County. Been married close to 18 years, blessed with 3 girls. I spent 15 years with the CDC. 2019, decided to walk away out of politics and become independent. So right now, I don't have no political attachment. Decided to have one. I reside in the States, Iowa, to be specific. Basically, that's the guy you always hear, Vanin Saki's voice of the independent, guy who speak the truth, who is ready to always fight for the country that a vision for the next generation, because I always believe it is our responsibility to prepare the stage for the next generation. So I'll look out for having a great show tonight. Speak nothing but the truth. I don't believe in creating lies. I always believe that we can be honest and still win. I don't believe in all kind of negative propagandas. I don't believe in lies. I just believe in speaking the truth. I know the truth hurts, but it's better for our politics, because your character attached to what you say. So I'll be very careful with what I say. But so I want to say thank you again. Thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to having a wonderful show tonight.
All right, let us start with the CDC before going foul. What our audience want to know why you left the CDC? Why?
Oh, thank you so much. Great question, my brother. The CDC, I joined the CDC in 2005. I had the opportunity to be part of the ruling establishment at the time from 2005 election. The party we were headed by my NTN, Joseph Salif, who managed the country for 12 years. But I joined the CDC believing that while it is true that President George was not seen to be the best president, I always like to go for the underdog, and I always believe that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they honestly come together and focus to do a specific thing. So because of that, I thought that coming from war, I was mostly concerned about those participants, the organizers, the financiers of the war. I didn't want to support anybody who play a public or private role in supporting the conflict. Seeing we are as the innocent guy who came in the picture, and I was desperately looking for a unifier so who would bring us together after the war. And I joined the CDC, fought hard for 12 years until we were blessed politically in 2017 to take state power. Then I struggled with the government for almost 2 years, propagating, playing a surrogate role for the government. But then when I decided to go to Liberia and assess the country for myself after almost 2 years now in power as a government, based on everything I was getting from outside and the reflection I was getting from outside, I want to assess the country for myself when I got there. Spent some time there, and I realized that this was not what I fought for. I understand everybody will say politics is interest, which of course I agree. But my question I ask people is, what interest do you come to politics with? Personal interest or national interest? I understand it's interest, but which interest you come with now? So for me, I come with national interest and never willing to compromise. When I support a politician, I do so believing that he or she will stand for my country and nothing else. He owe me nothing directly, but just do something better for the country so we all can benefit. So when I got on the ground, I assessed the ground and saw that it was just the same idea, just different faces in power. So I like, this is not a reason I think we fought for. We fought for power for specific reasons, believing that we would change the country around, make tough decisions, make national sacrifices for our country. And we use the government as a sacrificial lamb, that how we build our purple. Because we realized that 100 and some more years, our people been let down. So it was time for us to focus on crafting policies and making decisions that will focus on the poor people, lifting the people out of poverty. So that's why we crafted the purple. But then another day when I got and saw that it was just about the same idea, just the faces were different. And everybody was just into it for themselves. Everybody was just trying to see what they can get paid at big houses and live better life among the poor people. And things that we criticized for 12 years against the United Party government, we started giving trippers to those same things. You know, the behavior that we criticized, we started even doing what? So I got options. That's why I don't want to be. That's why my late brother always tell me, my son, if you want to succeed in politics, you got to get your eyes off luxury and money, because if you fall for those things, you will never be stable in politics. So at that point, I just asked myself, if this is what I fought for, I said no. When the answer came no, I just decided it was time that I walk away, because the CDC, the government, does not represent the hope and aspiration of our people. Something I expected, thinking that we are come from when it's some that there was some identity we had together. We are sons of the downtrodden class. So hoping that he could be a different leader that would drag Liberia on the red path, make some tough decisions, stand for the country, and use the government as a sacrificial lamb for the poor people. I saw the opposite. So no. At that point, it was just enough. I need to walk away. This is not what I wanted. If I wanted to just come into politics to benefit myself, I had my auntie running the country for 12 years, and I opposed her strongly and stood with the CDC. Not because I wanted the CDC to get power and give me something when I already had my family member in power. So I decided that enough was enough, and that's how I decided I got to part way, because the government does not represent the hope and aspiration of the people. I can't be attached to such a government. I had to walk away and begin independent.
Your entered was in power for 12 years. Your entered Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was in power for 12 years. And his vice president, Joseph Wakai, was vice president to her for 12 years. And then they did what they did. What now today you're supporting JMB instead of, at the time, instead of you supporting him, you supported CDC. What now?
Because, my brother, if you read the Constitution, you understand that the vice president position is just a ceremonial position. So to vote for any ticket because you think the vice president is a good person and not the standard bearer himself, and you think the vice standard bearer is the best person, that the reason why you voted for the ticket, then you don't just vote because the vice president position is just a ceremonial position. You can't do anything. It's just that name. It's just a title. Except the president want to listen. Except the president want you to work together. You can't do anything because if you read our Constitution, you see it very clear, bro. Okay? It's difficult. You can't see a clear, defined role for vice president. That's why they always say he's just a help. He's a helper, or he or she just help the president. So it's the president in the driver's seat, it's not the vice president. So I can never vote for any ticket because I love the vice president or I believe in the vice president. Because the vice president is not going to be the one. While it's true, the Constitution does not provide the space for both of them to enjoy, have equal access to power. The only advantage it gives the vice president that it gives him or her the opportunity to be around the presidency, learn and get some experience and get ready. If he or she decides to step in the leadership role in the future, it puts the president at the advantage. So if you go back to history and look at the Togman relationship, Togman was a vice president of Togman. Togman didn't do a lot of great stuff in our country. But when Togman died and Togman took over, you saw, if you want to compare both of their achievements, you know that Togman did extremely well in Togman. So I could not support the United Party because Joseph Boakai is past president, because I know that he's not going to be the president, he's not going to run the country. So that's why I could not support that ticket. If Joseph Boakai were running as president at the time, it makes sense to me to support the United Party. But now he as vice president because it's just a ceremonial role, brother. And no matter how you see people talk about it, they hear about it, it's just a ceremonial role. You can't do nothing much for that position.
Tonight, we are about to talk about the lawsuit within the opposition political parties. What are you thinking? What did you think? What comes to your mind when these political parties are suing each other? What comes to your mind? Do you think that Liberia is on the right way for deliverable for tomorrow, or we are on the wrong side of history? I want for you to take your time to address these questions.
Thank you, my dear brother AB. Everything that is going on today is not strange to some. It's not strange to me. If you go back, far back at August, even when the CPP was established and everybody was staying on the honeymoon, dancing, happy, you saw me pushing for the resolution of the CPP. You saw me pushing that the CPP should be dissolved. The records are there, the posts are there, my lot of broadcasts. Like, people get married, the man, the woman get married, what they dancing in the honeymoon, and you there, go and divorce tomorrow. Go, you sound crazy. People like, what the guy say? People just got married, having fun, enjoying. The guy just telling them go divorce. So I expected everything that happened to that. I expected. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I decided to stand up to push for the complete dissolution of the CPP so that every candidate that has equal access to compete in 2023. Because I just knew that coming together will cause more conflict. So, AB, let me say this to you on the listening audience. It's better we are not friends, but we happy to coexist, than to be friends in conflict. You getting me clear? It's better we are not friends, but we happy to coexist, than to be friends and be in complete disarray and be in complete conflict mood. So I knew that I knew that everything that happening now could happen. It's not strange to me. And the mistake, as I stated, the breath of the CPP was a hasty decision made out of fear that to defeat President Weah, the opposition need to come together to form a one unit for 2023. That was a mistake. And I will repeat it every time I speak to people, that the formation of the CPP was a terrible mistake. And that's why we must hurriedly end it now so that people can start refocusing. Because there was no evidence to prove that to defeat President Weah, you need to come together now. Because definitely you will come together later. So all you need to do is stay at your various political parties, keep that cordial relationship in the opposition community. You all live together happily, respect each other, but focus on your goal of winning the election. Automatically, it will boil down to two-man race, and you'll find the coalition will be established now. It happened in 2017 that took President Weah to the presidency. The CDC did not give President Weah the presidency. Go back and look at the numbers. So now when I say, what the guy saying? CDC as a political institution made out of 3 political parties, LPDP, MPP, and CDC, did not give President Weah the presidency. President Weah won the presidency based on the collaboration from all other opposition political parties that did not want Unity Party extension into power. So you have no reason forming CPP. Because when you do that, you give the government the opportunity to manipulate and bring conflict. And that conflict will start to send a message to the rest of the people that you guys are not serious. And when the voters start to get disappointed and feel that you guys can't hold together, they start to lose trust in your leadership. They start to believe that you can't be a leader because if you guys can't coexist, you can't lead. So it was just a terrible mistake to form the CPP. Because the real coalition will be established right after the first round. Because nobody's going to win with the kind of proliferation of political parties in our electoral system. Nobody's going to win first round every day. So definitely when you go to second round, AB, you will find a real coalition. They will come together. You're not even telling, you'll see them running to look. The opposition bloc will always unite heavily to support an opposition candidate in the second round. They will always go back and look at records. They will always. So all the things are happening, expect more. But think about the funny part about this. These opposition leaders are suing each other. To who? To the government. The government don't even want, if you give the government chance, they don't even want an opposition in the election next year. They may want to even go on a white ballot if you ask them really what you want. Ask God for one thing. We have to tell you, I want to go on white ballot. Because he knows the risk of going to that election. So you suing each other to the government. And you think that the government will have any specific interest in anybody that's suing. You think the government will love you, that's why they will prioritize your case? No. They will not. The goal is to destabilize all of you, because all of you in the opposition community are opponents to the government. And all of you see the government too as a single target. In as much as we got so many opposition political parties in Liberia, they all got one goal moving to 2023. They do not want the government in power. They may have different Senate bearers, but they got one specific goal. They all do not want George Weah as president after 2023. So that's why when you go to second round, it's easy for them to come together, because their goal remains that they don't want the extension of the CDC after 2023. So there was no need of forming a CPP. It was just a waste of time. They have just created all the noise today that make Liberian outside of feel that these people can't govern the country because they can't even hold together. But this got nothing to do with real governance, because what happened is just it's interpolitical fight. It got nothing to do with somebody, one of them is elected as president. They will run the country. It will be their policy. They will not be fighting anybody. They will be pushing their policy. So don't look at the internal fighting to have effect. I asked some friends I talked to today. I said, no matter the internal fighting in the opposition community, can you prefer President Weah to end all those folks in the opposition community? The answer is no. That's why everything that's going on today. Removing President Weah to remain everybody focused, because the least person in the opposition community is better than President Weah. The least candidate in the opposition community will provide a better leadership than President Weah. So I'm not going to allow myself to be distracted by everything that's going. I'm just concerned that it should not have negative effect on our people, and they should not start to feel disappointed and say, but these people fighting the kingdom, because there was just no reason. And that's why we're fighting between now and July. The whole thing should be off, and Liberians have to have breathe fresh air and start refreshing our mind and getting prepared for the bigger race. That's what I'm putting a poster watch for tomorrow morning. Will be up. I'm asking the opposition coming a serious question. All the leaders, I'm asking all of them individually, are they going to allow the internal differences to make them present President Weah a second chance? They should understand that the race here is President Weah. No matter what's going on right now in the opposition community, the bigger race for us still to face is giving President Weah a second chance. So I'm going to speak to them directly tomorrow and give them the opportunity to start to see the race. That the race is not any of them. President Weah will be the bigger race for our country. If God forbid he's elected in 2023, he will drag our country back and throw so many people in the poverty. We can't do that. So no matter what's going on, I'm not asking them to come together now. I'm asking them to just happily coexist separately in a broad political parties, but remain focused that at the end of the day, they will have to come together to get rid of the bigger threat facing our country. So that's what I'm focusing on. I want to speak to the common people, I speak to the other people, I say, You guys don't have to even trust each other. Leave it. At the end of the day, we all will come together. So let's just keep the focus. Don't be better. We are not enemies. We're not friends, but we're not fighting. Then to be friends and fighting each other. Because when you cause so much damage just now, when you go to the second round, they find it difficult for the guy you throw too much to her to recalibrate and say, let me just forgive everything AB did to me. I will endorse it and support in the second round. That's why you find out at that point you see some opposition candidate will say, go for your conscience. Tell our policy for your conscience. Because they are unwilling to bear everything the person did to them to support that person. So they just say, go for your conscience. So I'm just saying, AB, I understand all this not happening. I expected it. There will be more conflict. There will be more tension in the opposition community. The goal is to destabilize the opposition community. The government will always do that. Let me tell you quickly. People say, then why the CDC was successful to hold? You don't understand the politics of our country. I tell people who talk politics, everybody wants to say, just go sit down. Eddie Johnson Sully, former President Eddie Johnson, are leaving power now. She are not going for a second term. So when the coalition was established, Eddie didn't have interest in stabilizing the coalition. If that coalition was established before Eddie's second term, Eddie would destroy the coalition. If that coalition repeat, if the CDC will come together, the coalition will come together in 2011 against Eddie, Eddie would destabilize them. But Eddie was leaving power, she had no interest. But Vice President trying to succeed her, she got no interest in the Vice President. So Joseph Boakai said, well, in the race like an opposition candidate. He was not like an incumbent party. The party was not like the establishment now. They were not like the ruling party because Eddie treated the United Party and placed them in a position while they were looking like an opposition too. So nobody was focusing on destabilizing CDC. That how CDC was successful. But today is different. The government want to go back for the second term. They will do everything. They will put like in operative. They will spend money. They will bring confusion to destabilize you, only to send a message to the voters that these are the people who want to take power. Just see how they behave. They can't even hold together. But it's not even holding together because when one of them is elected, they run the country. They will not be going through voice again in any opposition base. They will be running the country based on their policy and the constitution. So all these things are happening now. Strange for me. I know it's going to happen. But my biggest advice to all these leaders, you got to keep the focus. You got to keep the focus. You can't let it drag you. Lawsuit. It's good to take people to court. Don't get me wrong, AB. When you think that your rights are violated or somebody has done something wrong against you, I support court. The best place to resolve conflict. I like that. But in politics, you got to weigh your options. You got to be very careful because you're in a political fight. You can't let legal fight distract you completely. By the time you get ready to face the political fight, it's almost election ready. The government is not going to be so happy to rush any case that you bring in serious opponent and some of the people that you bring in are not serious opponent. But if you're somebody's a serious opponent, you take it to court, the government will take good interest in that case and will drag it. Only to disorganize and make you guys not to be focused. So by the time you buy the election ready, you're not even established, now you got nothing, no groundwork, no campaign, nothing, the government is defeated. So that's all about it. So we got to understand, and the leader have to understand that, look, we can't allow this thing to drag on. We got a bigger race here. President, we are remaining a bigger race. Are they going to allow the argument? They suing, counter suing. There's one, all the things to distract them until they present President, we are a second term, because the older time, President can be re-elected, except the opposition actually present him in the second term, because he don't have the number, he didn't have even the number to win in 2017. And the same opposition came together and formed a bigger coalition that defeated Joseph Boakai because they didn't want an extension. And I see opposition now, majority of people are disappointed. So what's going to happen in the second round? The country is going to be divided. Those are happy, they will vote for President. Those are happy, they will vote for the opposition candidate. I will continue to repeat that. Any candidate who makes it to the second round in 2023 is automatically the president of the Republic. But they will defeat President. Because the country will be automatically divided between two groups of people. It will be no longer SYC. All those are satisfied with the economic the economic prosperity they're enjoying today. Get me right, they will vote for President. Those that will look back and regret for what they even did in 2017 by voting for President, they will vote for that opposition candidate. No matter who that person is, they will support that person. That's why, AB, I'm advising opposition leaders now to stop getting involved into forming coalition in that round. Leave it. Just leave it, because the real coalition will come into place in the second round. People that want you will follow you, or will join you, and you either go against the incumbent and beat them. When you start forming coalition, you just expose yourself to a lot of manipulation, a lot of undermining and distraction. That's what happening today in the opposition community. So I wanted to refocus and start to think that, hey, there's no win-win in cohorts being there. We got a big race coming on in 2023. We can't get distracted because we can't let the code distract off our target.
But here's the thing. ALP felt to themselves that Mr. Kumi violated their right. So, if they had not sued Mr. Cummins, automatically the governments were going to sue all of them because the Constitution says that you have your right to join and you have your right to disjoin. You have your right to join and you have your right to embark on the process. But now, what Mr. Cummins put in there says that once you are a member, there is no turning back. And which, of course, none of them signed to that. So are you telling me that it was not right for Mr. Ure, party ALP, to sue Mr. Cummins for that reason?
No, you are right. But AB, let me repeat it. Let me repeat what I said earlier. When you are a politician focused on a political battle, the last thing you want to let to distract you is the legal battle. You can't be politically engaged and legally engaged. You get distracted. When I recommended to JMB when he came to Minnesota, like you should go back and call all these people around the table. Yombly Senator, Yombly Kangas, and Zana B. Cummins, and Benana, you to sit around the table and settle and reach about divorce. I did it because I knew that the best way to do it is for them to peacefully go through a divorce, political divorce. I mean, they did not award, they did not fight each other. Nobody holding fast to something that they think if their friend leave, they will use it against their friend, not to run because they put it in the framework document. They should report their framework document back and for even divorce. Nothing wrong. So everybody can go because the thing was easy. I stated clear to JMB. In the CPP, you only two that want to be president. You and Cummins. You does not want to be president. Yombly does not want. So you're always easy. Just go and go through the divorce. Those that believe in you will follow you. Those that believe in Mr. Cummins, follow Mr. Cummins. At the end of the day, both of you will need each other. Because their race going to be, it's just going to boil down to two-man race. Three men will not go to the second round, two person. And you know the history of our country approving. I said 2005. We got two political parties always going to the second round. The United Party and the CDC. So it was just, I understand it was wrong. I'm still waiting for the court ruling. And that's what I recommended. And some of the ANC people finding it difficult to look at my recommendation. And I said the comments in my recommendation. Honest, look, the last thing you can do is to try to deceive yourself. You can't do that. You can fool people, you can trick people, you can deceive people. But when it comes to your very self, you can't. So I said, I want for Cummins to sit by himself quietly and be honest to Cummins. Cummins should be honest to Cummins. If Cummins is fully aware and 100% convinced that he did something wrong, that the document was tampered with, that it's going to lead to a big trouble, I said to Cummins, call the rest of the three folks in the private room, you guys sit down and talk. Nothing wrong to tell your friend, I'm sorry. Don't work it up. I know that criminal case. I know you don't have to write the topic because it's the criminal case, not a civil case. But if that happens, it starts to dilute the water. Don't forget, it's a criminal case, but it's not class A felony yet. There's nobody even directly affected yet. The crime said, I'm not even okay yet. You is not even heard yet. Boga is not even heard yet. The crime is not okay yet. So either the government decide, yeah, thank you for dropping it, but we are fighting because it's a crime against the state. Now we understand something about you send out together fight. Be honest to yourself. Say, look, I did something wrong here. Join me and forgive me. The thing that we all saw, the one that submitted, like opposite the one we saw. So please, that I hear people saying, why they asking comments for the document, and when they say, what evidence? They don't understand. The original copy of the framework document is in Cummins' possession. It's not a name. And I just had a conversation with some friends yesterday. I was shocked when I explained to them. Nobody send all original document to any entity. When you even go for a job in the country, you get hired. They say bring your green card, bring your citizenship, or bring your day. You take the original document to the employer. What the employer will do with the document? They photocopy it and get the original back to you, and they keep the photocopy. So people don't even understand that point yet that they still making noise about. That the document that Cummins submitted the next, he did not leave the original copy there.
It was not the original. It was photocopy that was submitted to NEC.
Thank you. So they're saying we signed this and we wrote this and put a sign a signature page and attach it. You took that signature page and change some lines in your own, so start that signature page and submitted it. So the one that we got is different from what you submitted. So bring the original now. The original is not for you. It's a public document, not for a one. You are just the one charged to go submit it to NEC. NEC take it from you, go through it, make a copy, and give you the original back. No political party takes your original document and go give it to NEC and leave it there. And NEC get a photocopy. Nowhere in the world. Even in America, anywhere you go for anything that have to do with bring your original document, you carry the photocopy to get original document back. By the time I explain it, some guys start coming down to themselves, they say, I said, but you think Cummins went and left the original copy there? No. Now we're only photocopy and give you the original. When we took LPDP, one of the party that our phone member for, when we took our document to that at that time, they just made a copy and get our original document up. So that's that document they're asking you to bring. It's not for you, it's a public document for all of you. So they say bring it. Why you can't bring it is simple, because the one now you submitted and the one you guys signed, they got some changes. And they said they made that all around. They say cosmetic changes, minor all kind of stuff. So I'm saying the comments, I know you got no power to drop the case now. It's not civil matter, but do the honest thing to yourself. If you really know that something went wrong, some kind of game will play a backfire, just call the 3 guys and say, look, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Things went wrong, I'm sorry. If we can start to engage the government to drop it, which apparently the government would not, because the government now is using it as an opportunity to strongly the opposition community more, so I don't expect them to drop it. But at least you just be honest and clear stuff with your friends, so you don't have to stay together. I repeat, they don't even have to stay together. And the only thing I brought it to AB, let me tell you before you ask your question. What brought the whole noise was when you then found out that Cummins was designed to use that clause that said when you leave the CPP, you can't put up candidate in the election. So you were afraid. Why the students decided they were leaving? Everybody concerned now. You can't leave with that clause on the book. You can't leave with your documents still intact. You got to clear a lot of things for you. Because if you leave, you still got a clause that says you cannot run, you cannot put a candidate. You don't want to start having a conversation in 2023 when Cummins go to court and say these people can't run because they were part of an establishment called CPP. And in our framework document, we agree that anybody that leaves, you cannot put a candidate. So Joseph Bogai, former Vapen, is that qualified to run? You don't want the government handling the kind of cases around 2023. You don't. You don't want the case reaching the court in 2023 where Cummins is saying, you can't run. Don't can't run. Bogai can't run because the framework document says. Now you join a constitutional argument. You think the government going to rush you to? You think the government going to prioritize such a case? No, you don't. So that was brought the whole north because Cummins just agreed that look, my man, let's withdraw our document and we force everybody to go. Then those couldn't hear about what you were then hearing Cummins and Brenda saying, let it go. Brenda telling Cummins, don't worry, let it go. When they leave, they kept running again. We got something on there. Let it go. So you say, oh, okay. So that's a trap here. So we can't go anything they put there. We did not even agree on the clause. How did they get in that document? So the whole lawsuit been started because you can't get drummer. You can't get drummer and say I'm part of CPP. It don't work that way. Get a young woman married. If you can't get a fire base, I want you. Yeah, you can fire base go, but you gotta go through divorce because the woman say got legal right over you. You know you go pass here around. She say her husband. She say her wife. I mean, something happen to you there tomorrow. She will have to come and anything if you die somewhere, she will have to come and say they bought it or burn it because she got right away. So that's how the CPP whole thing came about because nobody can leave. Either the party, they voted that the UP should leave. How can the UP leave? You can't leave when you still got a marriage certificate between you people, which is the CPP framework document. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm just saying, for peace sake and for working together in the second round, let's start scratching some other thing also. Comics and focus on political ambition. Joseph Bogai can focus on his, and we go to the election next year. One of them will automatically make it to the second round. And that person is going to be the next president of the Republic of Liberia. Because the opposition community is bigger than the ruling party community right now.
Now, let us look at the Liberty Party angle. The Liberty Party, first of all, Musa Assembly sue Senator DeLong. And now that he has sued Senator DeLong, now another member of the same party has sued Musa Assembly for utterance the LP documents along with the SG. Do you think now it's timely for somebody within the same party for that internal ranking to be going? You think now it is timely, especially when we have 1 year to the elections?
The reason I don't worry, brother, take the Liberty Party also be, but all the things that are happening today is just happening because two people in the CPP did not just come together, focus on the bigger picture, be honest with themselves, and have a compromise. Liberty Party don't have a candidate in the race, so I don't worry about it. The bigger thing is being ANC, ALP, and Unity Party. That's the two groups. Unity Party and ALP. I mean ANC.
ANC.
Yeah, ANC. So look, I wish when the whole thing started, there was opportunity given to some of us after we are communicated consistently. That it was time to have an internal meeting made of real people who will sit and look at comments and walk out in the face and get them a straight recommendation. And not just based on people talking outside. But I look in your face and say, AB, you know what? I want to be the president, AB. You be my running mate. Be my vice running mate. That's what you want. I want you to be my. Just get the cat out of the bed. Let AB refuse, no problem. But get it off and say, look, our bigger race is outside there. We can't allow the country to stay and let's say in president. The damages will take us many decades to repair. So you know what? I'm going, you be my running mate. Throw the cat outside. I hope they go happy early. But you know, everybody came to the CPP with a belief. And the bigger belief that coming had when he came to the CPP was that he thought that JMB is too old. He could just be offered the position because he's young, he's stronger. He was thinking that way. And he thought that JMB will not express too much interest because maybe JMB don't have interest. He has some feelings about being offered the seat, the center broad position. After I went back, no, it started getting rocket. JMB had interest. Now, how could they reconcile to say, my man, don't settle the doors here. Let me go and you go second to me. Don't have real mentor. If it don't happen, no problem. But I yet to even be convinced that both of them start together and talk mentor. You got to be willing to talk mentor. But again, it's not too late. Cummings will need Walker. Walker will need Cummings. I know it will surely come to pass in 2023 because nobody's going to win 5 rounds. That's why I don't want all the throwing through and insult continue. So now I'm saying, let everybody go on their own. And just fight it. At the end of the day, they will come together. That's all. But the other party soon, who's happening soon, you know, no thing like just all distraction. Where you going to get all of different major character case? Very hard. You can win it. It come with 2 goals. You can win for the character part, then to get a monetary compensation because the biggest thing about defamation of character lawsuit is monetary compensation. You want money. To prove that you deserve that money, that's the bigger one. I want to when I see Arthur Johnson talking about it. Why the guys not honest with the people? The lawyers will always play you because when you get the money, if a poor guy AB go to that club today and the same thing that they don't say, but Musa Biden say to you, and you go to suit, you go hire and Arthur Johnson as a lawyer, he will not take your case because you don't get money. So the lawyer, they see the case and the case I don't wait, they will not give you anything, but they don't tell you the truth because you got money to pay. Arthur Johnson is not telling Musa Biden, we can win. Yeah, maybe I can win the case, but I can't win the monetary aspect where you're getting $1 million. So so by the time he finished winning the case, then when it comes to proving why he deserved $1 million, Arthur Johnson will start scratching his head and he said, oh my man, what happened to you? Said the man made this statement. Those see what are some of the things that happened to you because it comes with a lot of evidence. It can't just be like, oh, AB won a show, he said there for me, Ashim now he demand, I'm not going nowhere, so AB for me 500,000. My brother, does not work that way. Yeah? People don't explain it, don't work that way. I can tell a lot of people, don't waste your time. Defamation of character cases most of the time, companies and big companies will file because you sell something that hurt their businesses and their product not selling, they can prove it. Oh, AB on his show yesterday, he said something about me, Fanny Saki. Okay, yeah, AB loud man, and so what? What happened to me after the lie? Did they call me any emotional problem? Did they keep me from my job? Did I got fired from my job? They asked stop going to public because I'm seeing my weapon in for divorce because the money all in the country. You gotta prove these things to get money. You can't just say, oh, Ashim, because AB tossing on the show about me. Most of the time, if I don't waste your time. Then the worst thing when you're a politician and you want to join the defamation and character case, you just waste your time.
Now let us look at Mr. Cummings. After the whole suing case, Mr. Cummings talked to Alan White, and Dr. Alan White called JMB for them to meet in Ghana. JMB went to Ghana, and that is the reason why the ANC people are saying that Mr. Cummings went to meet with JMB. JMB walked out of the meeting. Mr. Cummings was not. Dr. Alan White did not tell Mr. Walker that Alexander Cummings will be in a meeting. They went to Ghana. They told him, can I bring my SG for my party? They said no. Can I bring my chairman? They said no. Now, but I have to carry my GM. They say yes. So the mayor carried his GM. They were in a meeting. Upon conclusions of the meeting, upon concluding, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings came out to try to talk to JMB, and JMB walked out of the meeting. Do you think that meeting, it was necessary for JMB to walk out? Because JMB said he cannot discuss such a meeting with Mr. Cummings. Do you think that was right?
You got to be honest to yourself when you want to throw or demand to somebody. You got to be honest to yourself. Would they person even accept it? We are in a political fight. Past election are proving that this person had a bigger numbers. Should I be asking to back up for me? Should I be asking, will he ever do it? How can they work? Maybe brought 2 cups of rice, I brought 10 cups of rice with cook. Then to make the law, and so who will share the food? I say, AB say you want to share the food. AB just brought 2 cups, I brought 10. You can't be honest with me to ask you to share the food. So, to even call VP Bwagai to talk about compromising or back up, it's just impossible. You should be striking your idea of, look, the pathway to the presidency for coming was just very simple. And I said it privately to them, and I said it publicly again. When I found out that they couldn't listen, I tried to talk to the people in the public. Cummings still got a good number of years ahead of him. Politics, elections is not quality, it's quantity. Governance is quality. So you go into a race against an incumbent. You got the most popular opposition candidate is saying he only won one term.
Are you holding on, AB?
Yeah, my man. You gotta hold on. Go ahead.
He said he just won one
It's time for me to call. I can wait after.
Go ahead.
So strike a deal. Sometimes don't let the power thing get in your head too much. Look, sometimes you gotta walk slow to get something. Because when you walk too fast, you pass before you can pass behind you. So the thing was easy. I'm sorry that we're at that point, because a Cummings and Bwagai would just sit down and put the country in front of them and look at what will happen on a second term. Give you the president we are. They will just be honest and say, look, my man, I will hold my seat. You go first. Let me go second with you. Let's get the job done. And I will step in later on. Brother, it's about the country. That's what my post is going to open their eye to see. I want them to be honest. They can't allow, look, maybe my warrior is not what going in the opposition. My warrior is a second term honor president we are. I'm concerned because I know the risk of giving a donkey president or second term. I know the economy, the national security risks. This guy will not be coming back again to ask you for re-election. It means he will run it any kind of way he feel running it. Let me tell you, AB, American knew the risk of giving Trump a second term. That's why they said no. Because the kind of behavior you are exhibiting in your first term, they said no. The guy will be a risk to the country or second term, because that's the worst time to play camel. But think about where President White is not even taking the job serious. The first time that he's supposed to be more serious and focused, he spent more time playing than working. Now you get in second chair, and you think he's supposed to be too impressed and happy to do the job. He will not even care. You think we complain now? He's making market out of all. He's making music. You will see. You make movies. Now you're not making music to provoke her. You will see movies in the second term. So I'm saying to every opposition leader, GMB, Alexander Cummings, Tao Gongolo, the ACO chairman, the Rainbow Alliance, all of the individuals that are rating them, and I said to them, try to walk away from your individual interests and look at the risks that we all face if this guy gives you a second chance. I want for all of you to think, you may not love each other right now, but are you willing to hate our country for another 6 years? Are you willing to give President we have the opportunity to drag our country backward and throw many people into poverty, as he's doing right now? If you want to do that, continue throwing and hurting each other. But if you don't want to do that, I'm not asking you to counter the one emperor today, but you actually need to come honor it in the second round in 2023 to defeat President Weah. Because giving you a second chance will be like throwing your bullet charge to the lion. I can tell you that it will be a risky time for Liberia. Because you think Weah don't care right now, you better see what they call Weah don't care. Because the guy will not be coming back for re-election. So you can cry, block out from how you can say anything. He will not even care that the risky time, the second term of a president, is a more dangerous time. So that you don't play with it. Because you got to be careful. Because you got to look at everything the person did in that first term and say, we can trust him again for a second term. So my brother, our message should be focused to the opposition leader. Each of them should look in the mirror and say, are we going to allow everything happening in the opposition community to make us throw the country to President we have for the second term? Or we're going to swallow some bitter pill to save our country? That's what I said today in my letter. It's not about you people now. We see you people. That's why I respect every leader in the opposition community. I'm a strong, uncompromising supporter of JMB. But I respect Cummings, I respect Gongolo, I respect the river, all of them, because the reason is simple. Any of these people will provide better leadership than President Weah. That's just a fact. Any leader in the opposition community, if elected, they will do far better than President Weah. We all know President Weah was just a gamble we all played. What am I trying to say? There was no evidence or proof. That's why I feel guilty all the time. I was part of what I did to my country. I feel so ashamed of myself because you want at least hold fast or something to say, yeah, I can trust AB to be the town chief. But there's nothing we saw in we are only based on love. Yeah, what love do all today. That's why I keep telling Liberians, every time we get the opportunity to go to the pool, don't walk away from the love thing. It does not matter love. It should be about who is better ready to run the country. Love God what we today. So I'm saying to all the opposition leaders, I trust all of them. I can't support all. I got to support one. And I selected Joseph Boakai because he has the quality, they got the numbers. Because you can't govern and say you win. So that's why I keep saying to all of them, please, for heaven's sake, and for our suffering people, think, all the opposition leaders, go back on the table and think, are you going to allow all the things you're doing to make you to settle down and agree, join it, and not give Georgia another term? Do you know what will happen to that country economically if you give Georgia a second term? Do you know when people Georgia is throwing into poverty every day in Liberia? That number will triple. By the time you get in your second term, you'll be more focused on making movies than making music now. It will be worse. So every all of us, how will lower the tune about how you attack the other party? Because look, we all need each other. The ANC people will need unity party for the look, anybody who makes it to the second round will need a unified opposition community behind it. And they will get it. So they will start throwing too many spoons. Because the bigger race is President Weah. President Weah is clearly showing signs simply that he don't even want a job. You can see an attitude. But just that, people are not depending and benefiting through a leadership. They cannot allow you to walk away. But his attitude can show you he don't really care for the job. President Weah spent less time on the job. Less time. He spent more time having fun than working. So my brother, I just saying it from the bottom of my heart to the opposition leaders, to Cummings, to Europe, to Yombly, to Gongolo. All of them have to sit down and think about what we are today as a nation. If they satisfy with what we are and they want to give it to President Weah for a second term, it's up to them. But I'm saying to them, they should think and put the interests of our people first and compromise.
Okay, let us divert a little bit before we go on the phone. Huh? The Congress of the United States wrote the State Department about Liberia. I don't know whether you have seen that letter.
Not yet. Somebody told me I was okay. He said I will come to send it. I did so send it to me. I get it yet. You got it? You ready?
I just glanced at it.
Okay.
But they are talking about corruptions. That the government need to do more. That this government need to do more than what they are doing currently. That there are more sanctions, individual sanctions that is waiting them. What is your view? What do you take from that?
But AB, corruption should not be anything surprising to you. I don't think the U.S. government will tell me about Don't have to tell me about corruption in Liberia, because if you are Liberian paying attention, you see corruption working broad day. You don't have to. The women don't have to tell you that your government, your country, your government corrupt. You don't need someone to tell you. You see it every day. My man, I know the bigger evidence always say, show evidence that we corrupt. Go Liberia and conduct. Lana all president we have in conduct lifestyle audit. Start lifestyle audit with president we have himself in the first 6 months. Just go back the first 6 months and conduct lifestyle audit. And I say forensic audit, just lifestyle audit. He's already guilty. Who takes power in the first 6 months? They accumulate massive wealth. And he tell me say he had the money keeping. But it's difficult. And don't forget, America track everything. Washington sees and hear everything, brother. We too small for Washington. They put watch your bank account, watch everything they see. They can play agent in your system to get engaged in something, to get the information. My man, I got friends that do undercover. So that's nothing. They know about your country more than we know our own country. So when they tell you about corruption, they know what they're talking about. When they tell you about pay to play, they know. So all the things in start, all they talk about pay to play, president we are there buying jeeps, pickups, and giving it to chief there and saying his friend with art, Maggie said that his friends. That's a funny thing I don't understand about the government. That's why when you are there to say, John, do you guys really coordinate your information before you present it or you just talk? You will get involved in the corruption and you think to cover it is to say, no, one of my friends gave me the car. But then it will hold out to be true. What the court of conduct says about gift. Oh, you will not say, I will not say I stole the money, but I will say my friend gave me the car. But the friend that gave you the car, accepting that car is violation of the code of conduct. So are you saying you got for violating the code of conduct, but you get problem with that, right? So every time they get involved into something, when they come out, they say that one of my friends. Some president we have begin president. That's how we know all your Google friends there. They can get in private jet, they can get in cars free, they will get to the chiefs and souls. Where were all the best friends before you begin president? Where are the best friends? My guess that when you bury myself, that's when your friends getting 100 and some more thousand to pay the mess with it. Where are the best friends, my guess, when you were just passing around here that your first food you bought, we gonna buy for Citizen USA? So what are the guys, what are the best friends? What are all the best friends they don't do good for the people? And that was really upset me, AB. I said, we sat in the country for 12 years, criticizing early, acting that they say, well, Jesus Christ coming to save like you. In the first 6 months, all of you got power drunk and wanted to wreck the country to just get everything for yourself. Just say, you're so desperate. What did we make noise in the country for 12 years? What were passing all around making noise, seeing not even the American embassy protesting, going hunger strike because of rampant corruption? What waste out? What you got to use us? And you know that was just the same thing you were going to do, devil. So my brother, it's sad, but we can't give up. I refuse to agree that every politician like brother, they're all just the same. I can't agree to that. They got good people. That's why I tell the voters, here are more you getting frustrated in the leaders. Also start believing in yourself, because sometimes we vote for something that got no importance to leadership. You let the man party headquarters, or you let the man car. That's the thing you voted for the man for. Those things got no relevance to leadership. So instead of you blaming people when they take power to dump our country, bring yourself too, because you can get qualified Google people in the race. You can throw them away. And we start voting for maybe the other party headquarters every week, they can come there. Or the man, they can play music to that party headquarters. So we should start blaming ourselves and get involved in the war. So I tell people, we got to. These shows are important to educate our people. Because election is about the majority, brother. It's not about who got for you. It's one man, one vote. And when the majority make the decision, both majority and minority suffer when it comes when the result bad. Right now in the country, you go to the market, they don't have opposition corporate price and get ruling party. Everybody buy the same way. They don't have price differences because you ruling parties or you opposition. So we gotta be very concerned about 2023, because my thing here is I'm just looking at the first 6 years we are and asking myself, for what reason he should be offered? I tell us, give me a reason why President we deserve a second chance. Just tell me. Show me how many people the government are left out of poverty. That should be the bigger focus on any government. Is to lift people out of poverty. You can build all the stuff you say you're building. If those stuff do not make direct impact in improving people's lives, no, you just building.
They spoke about 1 million job in a year. Have them given that 1 million job?
Where you get 1 million? Where the 1 million job? Where? Nothing. Every time the president gave his state, last year when he gave it, there he gave it. You ever hear job numbers? You ever hear they go say I read the whole thing because I didn't listen. I just read the whole script. Checking it. Nothing in it talk about job numbers. State of the Nation address. The president will probably be bragging about the numbers of jobs created in the previous year in review. Those are the strength of the State of the Nation address, brother. Because the economy does not survive in the absence of jobs. Jobs are the engine of the economy. So how can you brag about a stable economy and can't show out job numbers? In America, yeah, you see Joe Biden bluffing. That's the job numbers. It's not bluffing because America build one helicopter or build one warplane. The numbers of people that the unemployment rate dropping. Every time how many jobs were created in the last month? 25,000. Those are the things. But go to President, we are still a nation and show me when you reference jobs to say in a real review, 10,000 jobs were created in the private sector. Private sector. Show me because that is the strength of the economy, not the public sector. But I don't understand. But he said the economy is stable. Maybe so many beggars were created in a year review. So my brother, we are in a very tough position, Sudan, and I worry about the country because AB, I tell people all the time, I live in America now. We live here, AB. It's just because of love for country. That's why we keep burning ourselves and worrying. But brother, under no condition now, any government in Liberia can have direct impact on us negatively. It won't affect us because we got family members and friends that are living in struggle. So we got to check me. You are found outside in the country now everywhere. No matter how they run it in Liberia, it can't affect you and I directly because our paycheck come from right here. The life we live in right here. But we feel it because our country will love it. When our brothers and sisters are doing better, it make us feel proud. Conduct, AB, I want to give you a task. Tomorrow, open your show and say, all those that went for visit, they go in December, that came back. Only they should call and tell you the impression they came away from Liberia. Do that tomorrow on your show. They'll be your own show. You don't talk, you just set the stage and let people call in and give you that impression. People that when they go in December, nobody should tell about 2019. No, tell them only 2020 visitors that went, that friends that went, that are returning, that are already here. Tell them to call on your show and tell you how they feel about the country. Maybe you call me after the show and tell me. Every 10 Liberian you talk to, at least now will tell you, say, they got no intention of returning right now because the country is a complete mess. That people are literally depending only on begging to survive.
Zogo.
And now taking over the country. They are not ready. That's why if we don't fight to my man, few years from now, the Zogo will be in charge of security. They will tell you when to come outside and when to go to bed. That population is growing now. Almost every house in Liberia, at least get a Zogo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do nothing about it. All we do is say Zogo. Zogo getting pregnant, getting born babies, baby growing into Zogo community. That community getting bigger. Just give it 5-10 years. Zogo will tell you, today nobody should come outside because we're having program. And you're not coming outside because you do nothing about it. The government gets you in a specific program that they got in place for the disadvantage. All they call them Zogo. Police commander, you will do with it. You think it like you say that you say, our crazy man, I always pass here and be wasting my water. I set it for here you come today. If you beat our crazy man, what you ready to do? The man is crazy. He's not normal, so you beating him to correct him? You think beating him will correct him? No. You got to pull that man in a shelter and take care of him to help him mentally. Not by whipping him. So when you hear the police commander talk about phone, using your phone with teeth, you just making it worse because you just go kill them. What you doing?
The Zogo reply. The Zogo reply to that mess. What the police
already.
Yeah.
Already. So AB, my brother, I'm concerned about a second thing. That's my bigger worry. I'm worried about what it will look like, God forbid, if President Weah is interested to manage the country for the second term.
Okay.
My man, I'm just worried. If you're not worried, I'm worried because I know it's going to be a disaster. I can tell you that for free. It's going to be a disaster.
Okay. Let's open our phone line right now. Please call out on 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. Once more, 215-824-8124 or 267-938-2801. That is the number to call. Call us here now, or hold your peace. Now, I want us to look at about JMB. What do you think? Do you think JMB is mentally and physically ready for this thing you call in presidency?
JMB is physically and mentally prepared, and you see a stronger JMB few weeks when I hit. I mean, look, I just all the funny distraction and the whole CPP thing.
But
I brought the whole.
but he has been the chairperson for the CP and not been able to utter a single statement. Not been able to utter a single statement. Does that pleasing to you?
It be a good to talk, but it's also good to know when to talk. Just because they want you to talk, you can't just be talking because you say, "I talk." What you? I mean, yeah. Sometimes you let team play all by itself. It was something itself.
Okay.
You don't just get involved, especially the lawsuit between ALP and ANC. I don't know what role can Boga play in getting involved in legal issues. Yeah.
Yes. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, we are doing quite okay. Please quarter your receiver around you.
Yeah, I'm calling to get involved in the conversation. And you asked a question about GMB mental health. GMB is okay.
Can you please walk away from your receiver, or you turn
Yeah,
your
I did.
receiver
I did. I walk away from my receiver. GMB is in a good stage, very good stage, to lead the Liberian people.
I mean, you now call your receiver, or you now walk away. I will not.
No, I will walk. I'll tell you what. I will go to my bathroom right now. I go to my bathroom. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you must.
Yeah, GMB is okay. GMB is good. He's in good health to take care of Liberian people. But let's go back to the thing of the Zoko, right? The Zoko are not the partner of Liberia. We must understand one thing, that we as Liberian, we made the Zoko for Eddie Johnson Salif, Charles Taylor, what's the name again? Prince Johnson, Alaji Clomar. They created these Zokos. They created them.
But Zoko were in Liberia before then, because they used to call them the grown-up
That's
balls.
a lie. It's a lie.
But they used to call them a grown-up ball.
No, that was not Zoko.
Yeah, but
That was Abraham. Please listen to me. Soko was not Grenada boss, okay? Sokos are people that was in the war, that was little young child soldiers in the war, that fought in the war, that the law didn't tell them, say, "Oh, listen, you're fighting for freedom."
So you
want to tell
me that everybody that are Zoko, that they fought the war? Is that what you're telling me?
Child soldier.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Most of them take drugs. Most of them get addicted to drugs, and most of them started to.
80. Do you know one of them that became a Zogo said today, "My name is Zogo"? Do you know one? You can tell me, say today, "My name is Zogo." Do you know one?
I know my friend. What year my son went to the C school? What year my son went to C school?
And he said today, "I'm a Zogo."
And he is now today a Zogo.
Oh, because he took drugs.
But I'm telling you.
No, AB, I want to know now, because he took drugs.
Yes.
So where the drugs came from, AB? Who brought the drugs?
Well, I cannot be the one to say that.
AB, do you know where the drugs came from, AB?
No.
Who are our securities? Who got our borders? Who got our seaport? Who got our airport, AB? Is it around the government?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, AB, bye.
Yeah, as you are talking, Mr. Saki.
So JB is in a strong, stable mental state to run our country, very ready to lead. He has come with wealth of experience. He been there. Right now, what we're facing as the challenges facing our country, the worst thing we can do is to try another rookie or get involved with somebody who have to go through a lot of job training to hit the ground running. We don't want that. We just want somebody with experience. That's what GMB come with. Physically, he's strong. Mentally, he's prepared. You engage GMB, you see a different GMB. Don't forget about the kind of funny, graphic stuff the guys can do and put on Facebook. You enter our GMB. Myself, when I enter our GMB, I was shocked. I was the young man sat there for almost 1 hour and a half. It's like getting more tired. And the old man kept engaging me and talking real policy stuff. It's just, I can't just wait for the whole CPP laws to be always so that individually these folks can start their own thing. Comments can be on the political battlefield, fighting for their own election, and JB can also be doing it in Congo. You know, they all just, I just want to see a happy, separated opposition political parties going on their own. Because at the end of the day, we will all come together quietly and faster. But I don't want the whole rock and roll. And I'm concerned about the lawsuit to the government. I don't understand why would anybody in the opposition believe that running the government will case against another opposition is going to save anything. So I'm just so worried. So I just don't know when it got to end. That's why I said to JMP, my communication, this stuff got to end. 2023 is just across the road. We don't have time talking legal issue all day with no way of attacking, moving on the ground and engaging our people. President Weah has provided everything that we need to use to defeat him. We can't allow this thing, the petty thing, to destroy us. From the day President Weah inaugurated, the next day he started to supply the opposition everything to use against him. Let's keep the focus. This is not the time for running the court. You can't be suing your friend to the government and the government are in front of you.
Okay.
So we can't do that. The opposition leader cannot betray us. They got to understand that the bigger race facing our country is just we can't allow him to be re-elected.
Is this a Braga show?
Yeah, this is the Abraka Talk Show. Go ahead.
Hey, my name is Frank. I call from Atlanta.
Go ahead, Mr. Francis.
I've been following the conversation and.
Hold on, I'm coming to you.
I hear your studio guest, Saki said, the last caller me said JMB is okay. We're not wishing nothing on JMB, but it's time for JMB to speak up. The reason why I'm not a UP man, but I will give advice. If you notice, everybody has started campaigning already. Cummings is campaigning. Judge Weah is campaigning with his pickup truck. Donald Cassell is in Lofa County right now. What his name said? What's his name? Congo is all around doing interviews. So Cummings was just in Bombing with Edwin Snow. So everybody is campaigning right now. So JMP we're in to start campaigning with the Unity Party when it's last minute of time. Because everybody is head stuck. Everybody is just campaigning. That's why everybody asking where is JMB and his supporters are going nuts. They want to know what the party want to do. You want to stay in the CPP? You want to leave the CPP? Because they announced almost a month ago they were going to leave the CPP. I don't know why they're still in the CPP for. So, so that's my thing. JMB, everybody is campaigning. Okay. So JMB, you'll be late. I gotta say thanks.
Okay, thank you. Carter, what is your name and where are you calling on from?
Yeah, hello, AB.
You have to walk away from your receiver or I will cut you off.
Okay.
I will leave with no option.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is it okay now?
Yes, it's all right.
Thank you, sir. Okay, my name is Mr. Moore. I'm calling from Ramsey City.
Is it Pastor Moore?
Yes, sir. It's Pastor Moore.
Go ahead, Pastor.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you to you and Fanny. Fanny, thank you for your thoughts tonight. I don't know how to describe you. I mean, you are awesome. And everything you spoke when you came to Minnesota that you advised JMB, he didn't listen to you, but he told you guys were going to talk. Everybody's saying JMB can speak. JMB can speak. JMB can speak. One thing JMB said once upon a time, he said he has been a leader, been a vice president. And whenever he goes to speak, people listen. So I personally believe behind the scene, JMB and his team, they are working. At the appropriate time, he will come up and speak. And the reason why we see many people like Daniel Cassell, Chairman Gonglo, and commies there going around, they want to be known when it comes to election. They want to be known. But if JMB goes out there to speak, he has a message that the people will listen. So if you are in the people's face every day and you come into them, you're saying everything, the same thing, you're saying the same thing every day, the people will get fed up with you. So at the appointed time, JMB and his team will get on the field
and they will campaign. I strongly believe they are strategizing, and when they come out, they're going to come out with full force. It's just a matter of them coming out and being organized. That's what I know, and that is why I believe we need to watch the politics, not because the government is spending, let the government go and spend, but when they come after that, they go to speak the message that the people want. And I want to say thank you to all of you that is speaking the message. Next thing, I listened to a caller, and this caller was saying, everybody created Zogo. Nobody created Zogo. Zogo, or before, we used to call them car loader. That's how we used to call them. We used to call them Grunambo. And not everybody on the street that we call Zogos, or they are people that fought the war. No. Some of them are people, are kids that refuse to go to school, and they want to be adult before their time, and they left their parents and they decide to move out on their own. Some of those people that we call Zogos are former government official children. Those people are, when their parents were working in government, they stole from the people of Liberia, and they wasted the money on their children. Now they can no more get the money, and their children, the drug they were involved in, they are the one on the street. Go and check them up. Most of those Zogos on the street are former government official children that attended Cathedral High School, College of West Africa, St. Teresa Convent, St. Peter's School. Some of them even attended J.J. Roberts School. So those are people who stole from the country, and up to now they can't get their money. So these things happen when people get in power and they suffer people. At the end of the day, if it don't affect those who are in power, it affects their children, it affects their generation. So that is what's happening. And I want you guys to continue to speak the truth, continue to educate the people. At the appropriate time, JMB will come out and speak. When it comes down to Cummings, for me, I think JMB should leave the CPP. But the problem why they don't want to leave, it is because with the ANC and the Bedete group, those people already had things planned. Cummings was planted in the CPP.
What are coming to you just around?
Particular date and time for them to do what they are doing. So they are working. Their mission will try to be. I mean, they try to accomplish their mission, but because of Benina Ure's madness and somebody who he have within the election commission that gave him information, that is how we got to know that these documents were fingered. So all they need to do for them to leave from the court, he need to call his people in-house and say, look, gentlemen, I made a mistake. I'm sorry for what I did. How can we move forward? Because it's not about Cummings, it's not about JMB, it's not about Youngbley, it's not about Benin Ayure. It is about how we, Liberian, can get Liberia from where it is. That is the situation here. How we can get Liberia from in the hands of these people that have plundered and squandered the resources. How can we get it out? Thank you very much and have a blessed night.
Thank you. What is your name and where are you calling out from?
My name is Edmond Koklu, calling from New Jersey.
Edmond, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about the topic on the discussion about JMB remaining silent. You know, right now...
The topic on the discussion is not JMB remaining silent.
It's what? Because other people that spoke, they're talking about, oh, he's not speaking. So that's just what I just want to...
Okay. Yeah, but that is not the topic. But
okay, all right. So I just want to make it clear to them that JMB don't have to be speaking all the time, because the man already built a foundation from the beginning. So Liberian people already know who he is. The person should be...
So Liberian people know that the man is a slow speaker, eh?
Exactly. So the man already built a foundation, so it's very strong. So he don't need to speak every day to the Liberian people, because sometimes I listen to Spoon TV, the CEO is talking about the JB is not speaking. The man they should be talking about right now that he's not speaking is just weird, because he's the one in charge, and he's the one in charge in all these things happening in the country. The economy is bad. People are killing people every day. So all these things affecting the life of the Liberian people.
Okay.
So these are issues that they should be talking about. The president is now speaking. He remains silent.
Thank you.
So, but they escape the topic, focusing on JNB. JNB is just a political leader. So
Thank you.
when we get into election season, then everybody going to know who a JNB is, because he's not somebody that the people don't know. That people already know the man. So those are looking for popularity right now, who are political leaders, they want to go, let it keep going. When 2023 comes, when we get into the election race, then they will know who a JNB is. So that's just why I just want to make some clarification.
Thank you. Carter, what is your name and where are you calling out from?
Well, my name is Dennis. I'm calling from the state of New Jersey.
Dennis, go ahead.
I just want to go back to your former caller that said that the Zogos had former representative children. You know that's a lie, right, AB? It's a very black lie.
No, I don't know that to be.
Okay, you don't have to know. You don't have to know, but I will explain it to you. Okay, it's a black lie from hell. Those kids was people that was forced into this war because the parent was killed.
No,
they had nobody else.
True. That is not true for you to say.
It is true. That's man cannot come out here and say, "Oh, the former." You tell me say, "Oh, the soldiers, the child soldiers and the Zogos were people who the parents were ambassadors and ministers in former government. Which government? Dole government? Dole government children, ambassadors." Okay. The children ministers, the children are children are rebels. Okay. Are you gonna tell me? Come on, man. Come on. You put the ideas together, man. These are poor people who they killed their parents and forced them children in the Civil War. Listen, man.
So you're telling me a friend of mine who and myself were in some way, you telling me that his parent died too?
You gonna tell me? Then tell me, say her father was a minister. Then tell me her father was a minister.
The man's father was working in Taylor government.
You were a Taylor government, right? You a Taylor government out of rebel government? Taylor government out of rebel government? What you trying to tell me?
Thank you.
You were Taylor government out of rebel government.
But the Taylor government was not rebel government. Taylor government was.
Taylor government out of rebel government?
Was elected government. Taylor government was.
Taylor was not a rebel. Taylor, why does we tell any person was Taylor not a rebel?
It's like they call us.
What Taylor not a rebel? Tell me Taylor not a rebel.
Thank you. Let me take Cora here. Let me process this Cora. Okoro, what is your name and where are you calling from? Okoro, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello. This is Roland Yima and I call from North Dakota.
Roland, go ahead.
Okay, let me appreciate my friend, brother Vani Saki and you on the show tonight. Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, you guys have provided some decent information for the Liberian public to consume. Mm-hmm. Well, quickly, let me just speak on two issues. One has to do with this whole Cummins issue. Mm-hmm. Alexander Cummins had a easier pathway to the presidency. But here is a big contradiction when I listen to Alexander Cummins. He has one statement he always say, Liberia is not progressing because we are doing the same thing and expecting different results. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things we always consider to be the same thing? We say Liberia has had leading politicians over the period of time that they are not willing to compromise their personal interests above national interests. Yes, a man who been away for 30 years, he does not know the political terrain. He does not even have a public sector or experience. Now he comes into our body politics, and he does not want to, work with people who has already built, over the period of time. Now, then Are you not behaving like the same greedy politician that we talk about that plunged Liberia into chaos that causing Liberia not to go anywhere further? You are doing the same old damn thing. Then you telling us using the proverb and say doing the same thing and expecting different results. That's one. That's a big contradiction, and I thought to sharpen that.
Go
Because,
to the second one quick.
Yeah. The second one is just to correct one or two, callers who said, those who are Zogos are people that are from the war. No. Let me tell you something. When did our war start? Calculate from 2003 to present. Why? How many years is it? How many years? Our 12-year Manaseli tenure plus George, we are almost 4 years. We're talking about 16 years. You go in the street right now, currently you can find 15-year-old Zogo. Are those people took part in the war? How old were they? Now, let me speak to another issue. Yes, indeed. Some of the Zogos in the street are former ministers' children. I'll give you 2 examples. Even our current vice president, Madam Joel Howard Taylor's son, Philip Taylor, was a Zogo. I understand he just got rehabilitated now. He has transformed his life because the mother had been, fighting it so hard for him to change. But Philip Taylor was on drugs, addiction.
Okay.
I gave you another example. One of the former minister of finance, and she was somewhere as I think executive director of the central bank. Sheba Brown, her son Ronnie Brown, was a Zogo.
Thank you.
So there are a lot of former government official children. Kakula Poto, Mami Poto.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Let me take the quarter, Mr. Bano will soon be to you. Quarter, what is her name and where are you calling her from? Quarter, what is her name and where are you calling her from?
You talking to me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. My name is Cherokee. I'm calling from Virginia. The only reason I call is because of the Zogo problem. People just think everything is just glare, everything on the wall. But sometimes to the grown-up people do it. I remember when we were small, they were talking about the grown-up people that we used to go water, sir. They had the grown-up boys in there. Somebody came from rich family and somebody they were dying by the wall. So I don't know why the guy just keep expressing himself on the wall, saying yeah, it's the wall created in Zogo. We already had Zogo doing normal days. I remember when we used to go to water, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say about GMB is GMB. Yeah, just give me 1 minute. I want for GMB to start coming out to talk because I'm getting discouraged about him.
Thank
you.
You
He need to come out to talk.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. Saki.
Yep.
You listen to our caller. Our caller are saying that this government is not doing nothing absolutely to help our brothers and sisters to leave the street while they are being driven into poverty. Scheming have become the all mark of the day. Jacking have become the all career of the day. Stealing people things have become a job now for them. What do you have to say?
I mean, it's a fact. The fact that we don't have programs to rehabilitate the folks, the fact that the economy is terrible, the fact that people can't survive, children now are being used by parents as breadwinner. And you're right there. I like what other callers said. We had so good normal day, just that with different names. We're not boys, Everywhere used to go, you get some guys who steal in the night, they go in the night and steal the guys, But we didn't have cell phones, so we were not about cell phone at the time. But checking bags and other stuff, they go right there. I was still getting more. So stay be careful with it in the night. So they have that population is growing big because things getting bad. The country is bad economically, no opportunities. So why some people settle for all kind of stuff. We got drug addiction. Our country, our market is open to drugs. We don't have even system to fight drug trafficking. So, and young people are just that group. That Zogo population is just growing because some have no opportunity and there's no program to help them. So when someone get addicted to drugs and alcohol and no help, what happens? They They stay there and they just die in it because nobody helping them. And the economic factors are also responsible for the huge number of Zogo community that is just growing, because it's not easy. Some people, they can't stand it. They got to look for the sugar. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but all the economy playing a role. And the government got no program to help these people. So at the end of the day, our population just growing. And it's just growing. I know people were crippling like normal days. But now you are going to another level, it's getting worse because no opportunities for the people. You don't have go back and look at your past budget, your current budget. How many were placing the budget for mental health? I think 20,000 for mental health. They got to talk, they get to 50,000. The whole national budget, mental health, you say 20,000. You think you talk about alcohol, drug addiction, you say 20,000 out of your national budget. I just tell you that the whole country is sick. That everybody got mental problem because your national budget reflected $20,000 for mental health. A country like a post-war country, you're supposed to be aware that you have not a people that suffering from mental problem because of the war. And you have a government that got no program for mental health. And you think mental health is just being crazy in the dumper? You're like, bro, no. Drug addiction is mental health. Alcohol addiction is mental health. The thing is, you can treat it. So you can put up on a treatment cleaner and the appetite for drugs will disappear. They got mental health home here, they treat these people. So you don't even have a program for it. Then sadly, your national budget reflects 20,000 for mental health. What can 20,000 do for mental health in like, bro? So just tell you that when you get addicted to drugs, you stay there until you die. You get addicted to alcohol, you stay there. You be on Zogo, you Zogo for life. There's no help on the way to get that guy off the street, rehabilitating, put in vocational school, provide opportunity for you to become a productive citizen. Nothing like that. But you talk about Zogo, just think about the blind and cripple. Just think about other people that you born blind, like bro, you on your own. You born cripple, you suffer. When you born cripple, you still suffer. You born blind, you still suffer. Forget about just think about people that they're just physically disabled, but they don't have mental issue, but they just cripple. Maybe the eye, they can see, or they blind. I mean, they can't walk. They are bound to be beggars. You don't have government, you don't have a program to even help. Disabled people. I ain't talking about the Zogo here, but just disabled people. Just to be born crippling like bro, it's a curse already on you. Just to be born blind, it's a curse on you. Like other person will take that young child, and that young child will have to hold the king to go around and go beg for money. So you got two blind people already. Because you're born blind, your child that you were born, they have to be blind. Even they can see, they're blind because the father, they got to carry you around a bed. They can't do anything. They can't go to school because they carry you around. You don't have programs to even help these people. You don't have shelter to even build for these people. You go to town, you see them, all even from Mama Liberia. You don't even have program to help these people, brother. Then you talk about the Zogo. The Zogo by the out, but people are just cripples, when they just blind, when they're armed, and you don't even have program. Look, we are not serious here. If you don't be very honest, the country, look, they hard to talk. That's why you really need a serious leadership because, brother, the country is sad. It's sad.
But do you think, Mr. JMB, who you support strongly, you believe that when he comes to power, some of the things will be curtailed?
I 100% believe that. I 100% believe that JMB understands the issue affecting our country. He been around leadership for a while. That was posing in a bigger stage because he been around for too long. He knows the problem affecting our country. Let me tell you, AP today. To run Liberia is very simple. All you need a leadership that will make national sacrifices. My brother, the country rich, but the leaders are greedy. Liberia is now poor. Liberia is a small country, a small population, abundant resources. But there were so many poor people because of excessive greed and terrible management. When we won the election, one of the things I stated to President, we are one of our cross-submitting to other people. Like, look, if we will succeed, if the government will succeed, President, we are going to make the government a sacrificial land for development, for transformation. It means that the government will be willing to cut down wasteful spending, make sure that every budget that leaves the president there reflects the hopes and aspirations of our people. That the people become the biggest consumer of the budget and not the government. What do we see today? What do we see? The government is for the budget for the government. Or current expenditure almost the whole budget. So what left there for the country? So you can have effective program for Zogos. You can have effective program for physically disabled people because the government chop what the government makes. You got to be our GMC to cut down, to build our countries. He told me, Saki, we will have to make sacrifices. Is the generation responsible to make that sacrifice, my son? We can eat what we make and expect for someone to get us free. It's our budget will get enough, but we have to sacrifice. And one thing I must say, agree on, there's no reason somebody should be making 7, 8, 9,000 naira. There's no reason for that. Maybe you got to make sacrifice to cut down ways to spending. One is not JB told me I already appreciate that. We got to even cut the size of government. Big government leads to big spending. Look at the government we're getting, it's too big. That's why we send them to over the overload the waste bill by bringing so many people in the government where they couldn't raise the revenue to meet up with their money payment or bills. They got to harmonize the budget so that the 20% they bring in the other 20 to join other 20% in one office to make it 40. They got to share the 20% money into a small money to get money for the other 20%. That's why we send them to a thing in Sugarcoat and talk about harmonization to be one of the biggest achievement. It's not an achievement because you did not harmonize the budget to really reflect into investing into infrastructure. You only harmonize the budget to create more big spending by sharing the money around to plenty people. So a 10 men working in the office with UAB, they brought 10 more person at 20. Now they don't have money to pay all 20. What they do, they take the chap from all the other 10 and create another money for the other 10. So what the chairman did harmonization to raise money to meet up with the new people they brought in.
Okay, let's hold you there. Carter, what is the name and where are you calling out from?
This is Ali Keita. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you are live. What is the name and where are you calling out from?
Yes, sir. This is Ali Keita from Phoenix, Arizona.
Mr. Keita, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for this program, Mr. Abraham and Mr. Saki. I really enjoy what you've been talking about, and you have thrown light on most of the things and giving, some explanation to laymen like us to understand what's going on in Liberia. And to move fast forward to the Zogo thing that we have spent most of the time on tonight, I think the Zogo issue is a multiple problem. Okay, it have a multi-layer situation, so it's not just one thing. But people can just choose and point at something and say, oh, it's because of the war. Yes, of course, the war must have something to do with it because that destroyed the very fabric that makes up our communities and our countries. And so everything is interconnected. But Liberia has been out of the war, post-war, that long enough for us to have things working by now. There should be, they should consider the type of education and to make sure to even keep the kids in school. I think that's that's the underlying issue that we are facing. If you don't keep the kids in school and then they end up on the streets, what else could we expect? They have to eat, they have to do other things, they have things that they like and they don't know how to get them, so what they will end up taking the easy way out and then continue doing all the things that we normally will not do. So that's what I'm thinking is, first of all, is, mostly we always point at the government and say the government have to do this and that. Yes, again, like I said, it's a malfunction that we have, if you will, if you can call it that. We have the breakdown of our family fabrics, and then we have corrupt government, and so everybody has to work together in order to get our house in order. So the schools have to play their part, the politicians must play their part, the imams and the churches, the pastors have to play their part. Just not to take all your time, I think I should share that thought with you. And if you have any question for me, I am all open to that.
Thank you. Mr. Saki, I wonder for us to look at our imprisonment cells. And you having to be one of the fellows that have a great ideas about our Saw Beach, our incarceration centers. Do you think it's up to date as current as we speak?
It's nothing. You're not even nothing close to that. First of all, you still stuck into the primitive. You still stuck into the primitive mindset when it comes to praising. Praising is no longer a human warehouse. Is that where you just throw people and think that you stay there and suffer the pain for what they did, and you hope that they will regret for their action? No longer we are changed now. We are turning praising from being punishment era to rehabilitation. So when people go for help, there's no longer punishment. Now when the judge or the policeman arrest you and put charges on you and they take you to court, that the judge has left the gap to find you guilty or the jury that find you guilty, they punish you.
We are not getting you quite all right.
Are you getting me now?
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, yeah. So, as I said, we still stuck into the primitive mindset when it comes to praising. We still believe that praising is a place where you throw people who are doing something wrong so they can suffer there, regret it, go to pain, with the hope that it will change from the pain they will experience. No. In the Western world, he has changed that from being a punishment center to rehabilitation center. So, praising are no longer used as punishment era, but rather they are used to rehabilitate, make people productive, return to society. Because most of the people that go to prison, they're not put there for a lifetime. They have to return to society. So if you don't create an environment to prepare them for re-entry, what happens? They can't rap back. So you don't have to do like, we are leave that. You don't have nothing that before you stay stuck in the prison, somewhere you throw people behind iron bar and people in our sea play, kicking the pussy, beating the new pussy when you just throw it. You just stop it back. So under there, you keep people, you send them back, they come back, they believe I don't move around. So I don't even want to waste my breath on the prisons, on corruption system, I'm going to because it's a complete disaster over there. When I went to Nigeria, I went around and says I just walk around a little bit, but with the DOC or whatever, I went to Department of Correction. So when I just saw what we do here, I'm not trying to compare regular like but brother, if you want to compete, you got to fall within the behavior of other people. You can't be doing the same the thing that other people rejecting. You can't be picking it up and running around and you say you want to compete with it. We got a terrible prison system in our country. But the stock they believe is that we make prison a better place, then people want to compete to come there. It's not true. If you create over 3 prison, then people want to come there. It's not true. Nobody want to go to prison because prison is far. You're gonna get eat 3 times.
We are not getting it quite correctly. I think we are losing.
Yeah, I don't know where the problem coming from.
Yeah, then you are much more better.
Oh yeah, so I don't know because
you are much more better. So you can go ahead.
Oh yeah, so maybe as I said that I don't want to waste my breath on the prison system in our country. It's a complete disaster. It don't help nobody. Even tell the criminal more terrible thing, more terrible to get in there. It's bad. It's not a place to put human being because the police is that. So punish a person when you create over 3 president who want to commit criminal conduct. It's not true. It's not true, bro. Prison is no longer for punishment, it's for rehabilitation. You're gonna help the prison. Make them better. Sometimes people grow up in a disorganized home, single parent home, bad environment. So they come and they need help. You will be the first parent in our prison to teach them something. They have never been taught before. So you can't throw people in prison and treat them like those 18 and will come back and people done this. They come back with anger and won't be aggressive, and what you do, they'll commit another crime. Because now you're not happy. You just throwing people with protesting that prison is no longer a human warehouse. In the past, it was a human warehouse. They throw you there, you sit there, you suffer, you fell on the crime you committed, and you regret and you change. That was the belief. It didn't work. The data proves that you do more help by giving them treatment, by teaching them, by giving them skills. You want them to come back to society and be better people so that they can come back to the system. But like bro, just leave it, so just find something else. Even the people also don't come down to help the people they want to already prison.
All right. So on that note, so your parting statement.
Yes, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I know many people come from different political parties. But we also remember that one race that we always face it, get it right in 2023 in our race, especially those representative remains the bigger race affecting our country. We tried the local ticket in 2017, we see the result and we're not suffering. The consequences are just voting for somebody based on a law of the house nothing to do with leadership. The leadership will come with the person that you voted for. You come with some qualities, some skills that you can at least hope on and say they will do something, and I just build it on the hope of love. So I want to say again, I repeat to all the opposition leaders, I don't expect all of them to unite right now for 2022. I stated there was no need for me. And today, I tell them they should all regret for wasting their time to form CP. Because of the formation of CP are all in us. Do you hear other notions, other opposition political parties? You don't hear it. Only the 4 parties that feel the bigger problem. So tell me there was no CP, no NOS. They will be taking a fight to be president. Because end of the day, there will be a coalition in the second round. There will be, you don't have to come. It will be established faster for the second round. So I just want to say to all the leaders, they owe it to our country and our people. They cannot allow, as the communist said that, as my other brother said that, I come always saying that we can't see the world or expect different result. It means we can't both greed for power over and over and expect to save our country. It means we can't both now the ability to compromise and sign and think that we move forward. We must be honest to ourselves and think about the bigger picture. We all comparing and complaining about the kind of terrible leadership person we are providing. Are you guys going to walk away for your individual interests? Focus on the national interest and look at the suffering of your people. And say, someone will have to swallow the bitter pills who can redeem the country. They have to do that. They have, or else they will be blamed. The president where is really elected, the opposition will be responsible for that. And what communists, Walker, Yuri, Youngly, Longo, all of them will have to think. Are they willing to allow their individual differences to make them handle President Weah a second term? I just see the race. Can they trust President Weah with a second term? Will President Weah be any better in the second term or worse? I say he will be a terrible leader in the second term because he has nothing to lose, but he has nothing to come back to. So I'm saying to all of them under my voice, let them start to think, let them rethink. They come and say, all of them sit together and put the individual differences aside and think about the country. Look at the country today. Everybody that wanted to America will ask them to complain that the country has just turned to a bigger breaking ground. The beggars are just taking over the country because people don't even have. And there's no evidence that things will get better than the southern part of the country. Our people are living out of poverty with no sign that things will get better. We can't allow this to happen to our country. We can't allow President Weah a second term. He will destroy and the damage he will cause to that country will take a many decades to repair. Because he has no clue. And he will be worse in the second term. And they're afraid because I know a second term will be a disaster for our country. So all of the guys in the opposition have to think. They have to ask themselves, are we okay with what we got today? Should we allow our fight to give him a second chance? They will be responsible for giving President Weah a second chance. Because the Liberian people themselves are tired. They're complaining. They want something different. We play the longer ticket, we see the result. They want change. I'm not asking you guys to unite now to form anything of collaboration, but just peacefully coexist individually and go to the election. And the election will always be 2 men race, and then the second round, 3 men go second round. And then we have a unified opposition community to end the nightmare that is creeping and destroying the country. Today we are getting proud about job. The only thing they brag about is to the bureau market. It's good out there to build shelter for poor people, but those shelters are looking at you can't see the lives of the poor people. You got to create opportunity for them to compete. When we have to also in the inauguration that Liberians will not be expected at their own economy, I don't think building market teaching is all going to be active participate in the economy. You have to provide opportunity for them to compete with the Lebanese and the Indian, not just by building a market structure. Declare school, are you free and pay wide? That's the solution. There's difference between quality education and free education. I prefer quality education and pay for it than to get free education and no education. So these things, but you guys, they are doing the thing because their whole goal is to get political benefit. If we can declare LU free, oh, there's a possibility the student will vote for. If we can pay wire fee, it's all about the vote. They're not doing it properly for people to benefit. It's just want a short-term return. It's do the vote. So I'm saying to the opposition community, it's on your head. If you think that the Liberian people deserve a second term of President George Weah, keep doing what you're doing. Fight for your own individual. Go and forget about the Liberian people. Just fight for yourself. Don't be willing to compromise. Don't
honestly say to yourself, we cannot bear this. I said the block, no matter how the country they have, you come in, somebody, you all you guys will eat on time or enjoy. You guys got something to go on now with life. Let's be honest, none of you guys will suffer. But the people, these people who sing and dancing for you all the time, these are the points to be concerned with. You go out will never suffer. You know will never go hungry. Congress will never sleep with hunger. Black will never sleep with hunger. But you know who sleep with hunger every night? That the Black supporters, that the communist supporters, that the US supporters, that the Young supporters, that the government supporters. That's the thing about these people. Power will always be around, but sometimes you compromise for the sake of your country. And I hope they can listen to someone and go back and start to rethink the kind of country that they will get 100% we are second tier. If they want to settle for it, I leave them with their conscience. But it's time that each of them re-examine their conscience. If they really into the fight to redeem our country and open our people, expose our people to good governance, then they got to individually examine their conscience and say to themselves, we got to get it right because the second thing on job will be a disaster. I want to say thank you so much, AB, for the opportunity. Let's continue to engage because what I don't want to see after 2023 is person we are being reinaugurated in 2024. I can just tell you, my brother, that bro, you think it's hard right now, it will be different. Just try it, go for it. Just test it for 1 week. On our second thing, we are you regret it, you see. Wow, so we can't lie, but these people owe us something. We gotta be honest with them. As we dance and sing for them, we should tell them, put our interest first down. Well, I put my interest first. Put that woman in the market interest first. Promise, put that late child and send a quarter that have to raise money for letting them milk. Put our interest first. Nobody open your office door. Look us on the street. Look at the children and put that interest first. You can't put your individual interest to the temperament or the people to the extent that you're willing to compromise against the person. We are a second chance. We can't do that, and we'll have to do everything to make sure that person we are exit in 2023, so that 2024, like people can start to see what government and reflect their hopes and aspiration. Thank you so much, AB. Let God bless you, and I will see you again when you invite me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's how we'd like to come to the end right here of the Magnificent Abraka Talk Show. You know, Mr. Saki have been here with us, and as I said, Mr. Saki, he understands the political issues of our country. But don't be surprised, because the political time is coming. We will have most of them been invited yet for them to be able to talk to you, for them to speak to you. Tomorrow, we'll be having the man from the Global Net. He'll be coming here to explain to our Liberian populations about why it is good for him to have Global Net in your home, on your phone. What is it important? You'll be here to lay the basics of his argument. Why do you think that our audience should buy Global Net? Well, much ado. See you when I see you. Bye-bye for now.